Hello everyone, and I hope you're having a good second week of Advent. Today is Wednesday during our week of Advent, and we're on our day 3 of reflection on the Visitation of Mary. As you can see today, I'm in a different location. I'm here next to our Mary statue, and I moved our Advent wreath over here so we could have the 2 candles lit as we reflect today. And the reason why I wanted to do it here today is we get into the part of the Visitation that Mary enters into her Magnificat, her famous praise of God. Magnificat means to magnify. And what she says is, my soul magnifies the Lord. Basically what it is that she's kind of like a magnifying glass. She's putting the emphasis on who the Lord is in her own soul, and who she is, and giving praise for everything He's done in her life. So I want to read the first part here, and that's verses 46 through 49 in the first chapter of Luke's Gospel. And Mary said, my soul magnifies the Lord. My spirit rejoices in God my Savior. For He has regarded the low estate of His handmaiden. For behold, henceforth all generations will call me blessed. For He who is Almighty has done great things for me, and holy is His name. So kind of looking at this first part of the passage, we might be almost fooled into believing that Mary's being a little prideful here, because one of the verses she says, for behold, henceforth all generations will call me blessed. She's saying this about herself. All future generations are going to consider me blessed for what I'm doing. But that's not what's going on here, because we know from everything that we know about Mary is she was without original sin. We believe that she never committed any sin in her life. So she can't be guilty of pride. So what's going on here? I think at that moment there's a recognition of the importance of what she's about to do, or what she's doing actually presently too. The child, Christ child, is already in her womb. And she's kind of reflecting on it. She's realizing that this point forward in human history, the fact that she carried the Son in her womb, is people are going to see her as being important. You're going to see her as someone who was very much blessed by God, someone who was bestowed a great responsibility on God. And I think that's where the emphasis is at too, the responsibility. Yes, she's going to be very much well known, and she has been, as we can see in our church. As our church, this is why we have statues of her to recognize the importance of her role in salvation history. But at the same time, too, she's recognizing her role and the importance of it, and seeing the weight of it too, and how God has trusted her with this great responsibility, this great task that everyone's going to in the future see as great. But she has to live it at the then and now. So, kind of reflecting on this for our Advent season is reflecting in our own lives. What are the things the Lord has blessed us with and trusted us with in our lives? We may have received recognition for these things. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But He's always giving us responsibilities. He's always blessing us with many things to do. A great example of that is a parent with children, having great responsibility for those children that they have. Just simply marriage as well. The responsibility that spouses have for one another. There are these great immensity of responsibilities that the Lord blesses us with. And sometimes they get recognized with importance. But the question we ask ourselves is, are we ready for those responsibilities? Do we receive them with the humility that Mary does? Recognizing that the only reason we are being elevated is because what the Lord has placed us in position for. And are we grateful for it? Mary shows great gratefulness and great joy in it too. So are we grateful for how the Lord has placed importance on us in our lives? So let's reflect on that as we continue our Advent season, and reflect on how the Lord has given us many important things for us to live, the same way He has blessed Mary with being the mother of God.